okay. It's better that way.
Yeah, Prabhuji, today I won't be putting on video. It's not really well, feeling well, but I would like to be part of the discussion.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay,
Okay, Rishi,
sure.
no
Thank you.
problem.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so before we start with the new verses today, we'll just revisit what we did last week, just as a
Yes.
recap. So,
Yes.
does anyone remember the Bhagavad Gita
Yeah,
verse we discussed last week?
1.10.
We discussed the
No,
one.
introduction as
1.9.
well.
1.10.
We discussed 1.10 as well as we discussed a part of the introduction,
Right.
Yes.
and you elaborated the part of introduction which I wanted to know
Okay.
about the five
Okay. Good.
uh,
Thank you. Yeah.
devotees.
Yeah. Thank you, Aditi. So, with 1.10 verse, does anyone remember a specific word which we discussed? Or
We
if
Uh,
discussed
someone remembers the verse itself, that'll be great.
our strength is immeasurable and we are
Immeasurable,
perfectly
yeah.
protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas
Okay.
the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhim, is limited.
So, what
So
was one particular word which we emphasized on?
motivated.
Aparyaptam.
motivated.
Motivation.
Aparyaptam.
Yes. Aparyaptam was the word in Sanskrit, and the the
The reason
the
behind it.
gist, the summary behind it, the gist behind it was that what is important when you uh, analyze a
Who
person.
is that?
Yes, there is someone is like there's a background noise there.
Now gone.
Okay.
Can I put all of you guys on mute and you guys can just unmute yourself when you want to
Sure.
speak? Yeah, yeah, done.
That's good.
Okay. So, all right. So, aparyaptam was immeasurable, where we talk, but it was not a direct meaning of aparyaptam. Um, so, what uh, Duryodhan was pointing to in that verse was that our efficiency with respect to military is immeasurable because we have Bhishma with us. And it also had a hidden understanding that Bhishma, because he does not have motivation, though he has all the skills, but he does not have that will to fight against Pandavas. So the the military uh, or the efficiency of Bhishma may be insufficient. So aparyaptam also indicated insufficient,
Hmm.
and that is where does anyone remember the other second line of the verse?
Paryaptam, paryaptam tva idam
Yeah,
atasam.
yeah. So paryaptam, he says that there is limited efficiency from Bhima, but hidden understanding was that he has a lot of motivation. I was going through just to give you one case study on this one. Everyone knows Nokia, the company Nokia.
Yeah.
Do you know the last CEO of Nokia before Microsoft took it over? Before it went to Microsoft? Please find out. It's a very good case study. So this is a very good example of motivation as to how that CEO of Nokia, because he did not have the right motivation, he was not the right person for that job. And that was a decline of that company. That way you can have many examples. I just picked up that one randomly. So motivation was the core understanding of that verse. Okay, what else did we discuss?
Guys, can I share something with you?
Yes.
This verse now that we learned last week, it came at a very perfect time for me in my professional and in my personal experience last week. So I actually implemented that, and I was so happy that I'm sure out of this I'm going to get really good results in next 2-3 weeks time because of this one single verse.
Very nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your realization, Kalpesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. One verse from Bhagavad Gita can change a life. I will share with you once we progress in Bhagavad Gita about Singapore Airlines. They picked up one verse from Bhagavad Gita. We'll come to that later. And Singapore being such a small country, Singapore Airlines is one of the top most airlines in the world. So they work on that basis. Anyways. Okay. So what else did we discuss last week?
We discussed on the introduction as well.
Yes. So on which part of introduction did we discuss on?
We discussed until one may be a devotee as a conjugal lover, one may be a devotee as a parent, one may be a devotee as a friend, one may be a devotee in an active state, one may be a devotee in a passive state.
Yeah. Okay.
Discussed
Nice
about
reading.
the disciplic succession, parampara.
Yes. So we discuss about 4 different paramparas.
Right.
Does anyone remember what are the 4 paramparas? Yes, Randhirji.
Randhir, unmute yourself.
Randhir, you're on mute.
Randhir, unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. You're far too kind. My notes don't cover the traditions, but I did know that it actually went down from Surya Bhagavan to Manu to Ikvarshu, and then it was lost, and then it came down from Ikvaku, sorry, and then it went down from Bhagwan Sri Krishna to Arjun,
Oh, very nice.
who then became the he wanted to break tradition, and he then wanted to say as well, you are going to go ahead and start off this new tradition. So it is an understanding as Arjun would actually get it.
Very nice.
And
Very nice.
and the special relationship here is because Arjun is a friend, as Kalpesh mentioned, he's a friend and a devotee of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. His understanding of it was totally different.
Yeah.
All of us have a relationship with the Supreme in those 5 components, active, passive. It's a question of whether we get into it. And there was something else in the introduction that I happened to read is whether we are aware of it or we are not, the only persons who it is the what is it saying is you have to learn the Bhagavad Gita by paying obeisance to God, or keeping that into our, and only if you're asking questions as to who am I and what happens after death, that's the person who's kind of becoming aware, and for whom this would be not relevant, he's ready to question himself.
Very nice. Very nice. I see what you mean. Yes. That's a very good understanding, Randhir. And it's nice to put it in your own words. So see, this is your own understanding. So nice. You see, this is I'm pretty sure you have made your notes, Randhir. And
Sir, I can't type that fast.
no, that's fine. I mean, no. I'm pretty sure you have made your notes because this is your understanding, which is coming from your own thought process, which is in your own way. So this is what we should be trying to understand Bhagavad Gita in this way. How this is your own, this is your own understanding, and this is how we have to develop our own understanding from Bhagavad Gita, what we hear. So that's why when we write notes, that is our own. There's no need to share it with anyone. I mean, later when you are discussing in a forum like this, that time you can share, like how I am doing at the moment. But these notes are mine. Although I have heard it from different Shiksha gurus and things like that, but these are mine. This is my understanding. Great. Thanks.
Sir,
Thanks,
one
Randir.
one quick
Yeah.
question, sir,
Yes.
is
Yes.
in a couple of sessions ago, you had
Yeah.
asked us, saying is out of the five, out of the five, there are the Jeevs, and then there is the Paramatma, right? And then there is Prakriti, there is Kal, and then which is the fifth one?
Karma.
Karma. So out of these, you had asked us which ones are, eternal and which one is not, right?
Correct. Correct.
And I had made a mistake, and I said I said the material one, which is it, Prakriti, right?
Prakriti. Mhm.
Is is not is temporary.
Mhm.
And then I went on and read out here that it's the difference between inferior and superior. So one, they're kind of cyclical. But sir, I had a conversation with Abhijit. I think I ate his head. Is since Carl is overseeing um, karma and even prakriti, right? Isn't the Lord, isn't is he subject to Carl too, or are all of them to time? Or do you understand my point?
Yeah. Yeah. I see where you're coming. Yeah. I see. What? So everyone understands what Randir is trying to ask?
Yeah.
Because sir, because there are
Yeah.
different avatars, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And they
So
come in this Ram. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So what Randir is trying to ask is, just for everyone's clarification, just correct me if I'm wrong, Randir, that what is the relationship between the Ishvara? What is the relationship between Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kal, and Karma? How are they interrelated? And how does the Kal affect Jiva or the Prakriti? And how does this Kal affect the Ishvara? Am I correct,
Yes,
Randir?
sir. Perfect.
Yeah. So we will cover that after we,
Perfect.
just quickly review what we have
Mhm,
discussed last week. We will
mhm.
cover that today, Randir. Good, good, very good question. Okay, so apart from the parampara which we discussed upon the one single lineage from Sri Krishna to Surya, I mean, which is then it came to Ishwaka and all that, Vanshaj. So, what are the four paramparas we discussed? Anyone remembers? We discussed four paramparas. Anyone remembers?
That
Rudra,
is the Rudra,
Yeah.
Rudra Param,
Shri,
Yes, Sri
yeah,
parampara,
Sean,
Rudra parampara. Yes,
Kumar,
Kumar
and
Kumar
parampara,
Brahman.
and
and
Brahma,
Brahman.
Brahma.
Brahma,
Yeah, Brahma
Brahma,
parampara.
Brahma
Brahma
Gaudiya
Gaudiya
Parampara.
Sampradaya. Brahma
Gauriya
Gaudiya
Parampara.
Sampradaya. So Sampradaya or Parampara you can call anything, no problem. So we are following the Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya. So
Yeah.
this lineage is from Krishna to Brahma, then the son of Brahma. Anyone knows who was the son of Brahma?
Father of Parvati.
Father of Parvati.
No,
Father of Parvati.
Shakti, Shakti.
Father of Shakti.
That was shown. And
Oh, is it? Oh, you're referring to TV. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Not B.R. Chopra.
no,
So, who was, there were multiple sons of Brahma, but one of the prominent son of Brahma, which you would, when I say the name, you'll quickly, uh, recollect. His name was Narad.
no.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right.
Narad was the direct son of Brahma, and he remained a brahmachari. He was a Muni. So, Narad Muni, that's why you call it Narad Muni. He was a brahmachari throughout his life. And he had a boon given that he can travel anywhere. In Kali Yuga, he can go back and forth to any planet, he can travel anywhere.
FedEx.
So,
Silver Surfer.
Narad was son of Brahma, and
Okay.
from Narad further down line, that's what we are following, that parampara. So, if you see the Bhagavad Gita, the books which we have, I think Aditi had shared a poster of also of that book. So that one, if you see the first a few pages of that book, you'll see the parampara of that book. You want my
Yeah.
phone? No, Chad. So you'll see the parampara of that book, of the parampara within the book. So you'll see Brahma, Narad, and further down the line. So you can have a look. You'll see Ikwaku as well in that. If you go through that one. Okay. So these are the 4 different paramparas. What else did we discuss last week? Did we speak about listening skills?
6 different kinds of listeners.
Yes. Anyone remembers 3 positive kind of listeners?
The Chataka
Yeah.
bird,
Chatak bird, okay.
the parrot,
Parrot, yes.
and the
And
fish.
fish.
And the fish. Okay, 3 negative. Aditi, can you say?
There was bull. There was bull. The third one you only did not remember.
Okay, Kalpesh, do you remember the third one?
No, because you did not say it.
Yeah. Okay. Who else? Who else? Who else remembers the third one?
But I
You
only
did
know
not
as
say.
I'm a bull.
Yeah. Anyone
Uh,
remember the third one?
I don't
Okay.
know. You
Didn't I say
only
the
did
third
it.
one? Okay. All right.
No.
Okay. The third type of listener is like a camel.
Oh.
You know the characteristic of a camel? He eats only thorns, cactus. He doesn't eat anything else. So even though if you keep something nice in front of him, he will eat only cactus. So these are the third kind of bad listeners. You give them beautiful, Krishna Katha, they'll pick up the worst thing out of it. I've seen many. अरे कृष्णा की तो 16,000 थी यार वो तो बहुत मजा किया है. I don't have any, so why can't I enjoy? So this is Krishna Katha for them. ऐसा वही interpretation है. Wonderful. So they'll pick up all the thorns out from this. Somehow their mind will go into the thorns. Not their mistake, but that's how the mind functions. Unfortunately, because they picked up everything like that in their life. This reminds me of one prasanga from Ramayana. Anyone knows when Ravan was on the deathbed, Ram asked Lakshman
Lakshman.
to go and take Gyan from Ravan.
Yes.
Anyone knows this?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
I had heard this.
Why? Because Ravan was a Pandit.
Pandit.
He was a very learned person, very learned, very knowledgeable. So when Ram said to Lakshman, go and take Gyan from Ravan, Lakshman just refused. He said, no. Ram told him he is very Gyani. So whoever has Gyan, you should go and ask for some knowledge from him. So Lakshman went and he kicked him. Hey, Gyan de rahe mere ko. So when Ravan didn't respond, so he came back to Ram. He said he's not. So Ram said that Gyan is to be received like a beggar,
Not demanded.
not demanded. You pay the fees, इसको देना ही पड़ेगा मेरे को ज्ञान. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So you go and request him, beg him for some knowledge. So Lakshman agreed because he used to listen to his brother. So he went to Raman and begged for knowledge. He said, you are Gyani, aap Gyani ho, aap Pandit ho, please, give me some Gyan. So Ravan said, I'm on my deathbed now. I can give you 1 or 2 lines before I die. He said that I did my work in my life like a camel. I always picked up on the wrong aspects of life, and they always did my wrong decisions. Always picked up something ill. Whenever there was, an event or things going on, I would pick the dirtiest thing on that and do that thing. I had all these nice sadhus and everything in the in the forest of mine and everyone around me. I did not take their gyan. I went and picked up Sita, abducted her. always made the wrong decision. I had Vibhishan in my team. He was the very learned person and a devotee of the Lord. I kicked him out of my life. Always make the wrong choices. Although I had in my mind that no, this is wrong. So do not be like a camel. That's what the suggestion he gave to Lakshman. Do not pick up the thorns in your life. Always try, analyze, and pick up the right thing. And that is suggested by your inner gut, your sixth sense, as the Paramatma, as we call it. Do not suppress it. Ravan knew that he is doing wrong. He knew he's doing wrong, but he suppressed that and he did it. So that's what he was suggesting, Lakshman. That is the gyan he gave him. So the third type of bad listener is the
Camel.
camel. He picks up only on thorns. Another part of camel is that when camel eats the thorns, you know what happens? When he is eating the thorns, his tongue is actually there is blood which comes out of his tongue because all the thorns are hitting the tongue. They're tearing that tongue apart. You know, they're literally slicing that tongue, and the blood is coming out. And he, camel, out of ignorance, he even drinks his own blood and finds it very tasty
Okay.
because it is mixed with the thorns. It's the taste which comes to him. There's a lot of noise, isn't it?
There's a lot of noise coming from background, guys. Can I put everyone on mute, please?
Yes, sure, sure.
So when camel does that, he finds a lot of taste in that. That is the idea given also or compared, that camel's ignorance is compared to a human being who lives in ignorance. They take up to all kinds of tamasic activities, indulging in drinking, binge drinking, indulging in gambling, in trying to divert their mind, indulging in illicit sex, indulging in all kinds of those activities. It only burns their blood, but they think that is enjoyment. So do not be a camel. All right. Okay. So these are the 6 types of listeners. 3 positive, 3 negative. All right. What else did we discuss about a friend? So I'll just give a brief on the friends as well, just so that you understand the meaning of friend as per the Shastra. So in English, if you see the word friend, it's only one word, friend. Whereas in Sanskrit, there are different types of friends. So there are 3 different types of friends which are explained as per the Shastra. So that comes the power of Sanskrit again, the language, which is the aesthetics of Sanskrit, multi-valent words, and many other aspects. So the first kind of friend is a sakha or a suhrit. Suhrit or sakha. Second type of friend is mitra. The third type of friend is bandhu. So we'll go from the bottom again. Bandhu is a friend who is an official friend or like a colleague in the office, where you have a work culture or a kind of a work relationship with him. That is called a bandhu. Second type of a friend is mitra, who is a social friend whom you meet in the colony or in a social circle or an acquaintance, common friend, or something like that sort. And then you became acquainted to that person, and you became slowly that social friend. That is called a mitra. Third type of friend, who is actually the real friend, as we call, or the well-wisher, is called sakha or suhrat. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, if you go to that verse, he speaks about that friend. He says, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhradam sarvabhutanam gyatvam mam shanti mrichati. He says, a person in full conscious of me, knowing me to be the ultimate well-wisher, or the suhradam, suhrad, which I said before, or sakha, ultimate well-wisher or beneficiary, or and who is the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. This is from Bhagavad Gita chapter 5 verse 29. So Suhrat is the best kind of friend, or the topmost friend. If you see in this world, generally, when we talk about friendship in this world is defined very simply. If you can satisfy my sense gratification, that is what I want, basically, your money, property, whatever, fame, position. If you can help me achieve that, you are my friend. And that goes the other way around as well. If I can help you achieve that, I'm your friend. That's how the relationships are in this world. That's the friend meaning in this world. If I can achieve your sense gratification for you, and you can achieve my sense gratification for me, we both are friends. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, everyone with me? So generally, if you look at them, they are work friends. They're all bandhus. And that's why, if you see, the relationships or the friendships in this world, they keep on changing. It can't be consistent. Because the moment you have, finished up the work with that person, that, achieved what is wanted from that person, slowly and slowly the relationship diminishes. So you have to have that eye of understanding. Don't feel bad. Don't get emotional. I don't have any friend. I've seen many people in UK. Prabhuji, the only thing, I don't have one friend. Understand what is a friend. First you have to understand the categories. So when you understand the category, it becomes very clear. Yes, Ranadhir, you want to add something?
Sir, one thing which confuses me a lot, people say is, I have 500 Facebook friends. What do we classify them as?
I don't know. I can't comment on that. That is not my forte. I really find Facebook very funny because I think it's basically just telling everyone. I think it's more of uh, a gossip. That's how this industry runs on.
Because, sir, they are not bandhus. And sometimes, what they call friends of friends, they're not even associates.
So what is gossip? So gossip or the prajalpa in Sanskrit, as we call it. Facebook is a perfect example of prajalpa. Prajalpa means mundane activities. Okay. Mundane activities. So mundane activities are those activities wherein there is no reason for doing them. There is no purpose of doing them. That is called a mundane activity or prajalpa. Talks or visuals or activities or events where there is no meaning. So for example, your friend is having a party, okay, and you are seeing his pictures. You have to ask yourself why. Why are you seeing someone else's party pictures? What kind of joy are you getting? So the joy you get is that if I was at that party, I would. You're trying to think that if visualize that I was there. And they write also sometimes, wish you were there. Oh yes, wish I was there. And that's it. So this is called prajalpa. It is mundane activity, completely mundane activity. Instead, that time can be utilized. That's my personal feeling in a better way. Anyways, did I answer your question, Randir?
I'm simply saying is when someone sends you a simple friend request, right? And you don't even know these people, but because they know somebody else that you know, there is
Yeah.
something in Facebook
Uh,
called a feed.
yeah,
So,
acquaintances, as I call it, they can be mitra,
right, okay,
social.
because
Yeah,
they keep sending pictures and
yeah.
you have no choice but to, you get bombarded by pictures of people.
No, you have a choice not to see them.
Okay, I get your point. I get your point.
Utilize your time somewhere better. Okay, all right. So coming back to these three times of friend. So there is a verse from where it explains this very nicely about a friend and the relationships in this world are. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Puran. It says, Niswam tyajanti ganika akalpam nripatim praja adhita vidya acharyam at vijo datta dakshinam, which means that a prostitute will only be with you until the time finishes and the money finishes. A prostitute abandons a penniless man. Subjects of or the praja of a king are only until only uh, you know um, accepting him as a king and listening to the orders until he is competent. Once he is incompetent, they will reject him. So the relationship is over. Students accept their teacher until they have finished their education and completed their exams. After that, their relationship is over. A, a pandit or a bhatt, as you call, he is only until there for a person when he is performing a yajna or a sacrifice. Once he is remunerated, once he is paid, he's off. The relationship is over. So that is datta dakshinam. So niswa tijanti ganika, which means prostitute remains with the person only until the money is finished. Akalpam nripatim praja. The praja remains with a competent king until he is competent. Once he is incompetent, they leave him. Adhita vidya acharyam. When the acharya's vidya, what he is giving, is over, education is over, then the student goes away. The relationship is over. And similarly, Tvijoto datta dakshinam. Similarly is the Brahman or the Pandit, which comes to someone's house to do the sacrifice. So relationships in this world or the friendships in this world are only for a particular cause. Once that cause is finished, that is over. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you think that this is my real friend in this world, anywhere, only if that person is helping you develop spiritually and reach your goal of self-realization, he is your well-wisher. And that should be the motivation of that person. And you know what is motivation, right? We discussed in our last verse of 1.10. Yeah.
That is why I got you guys all in this class.
So you have to find and understand how your relationships are and do not get affected by these relationships. Generally, we feel bad about the relationship, but you don't have to. Those relationships, all these relationships are, material relationships. They have a time frame and they will diminish. In fact, even the parental relationship also, after a certain point, it starts diminishing because unless there is a spiritual aspect in the relationship, the parent-child relationship also starts getting diminished. If there is a material or a sense gratification aspect behind it. if a parent is expecting that my son or my daughter will take care, till they die, and they will take care of all those things, but there's an expectation, the material expectation, and that also starts diminishing once that thing is over. So relationships in this world, they have a time frame, and they are only built for a cause. So that is why when we have a relationship with Krishna as a friend, as a real well-wisher, then we can progress in our spiritual life. Then there is a solid relationship and a true friendship. Okay, now we will go to anything else someone has read from the introduction, wants to add?
Sir, it's huge.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Aditi,
So
you finished the whole thing?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Yeah, I got stuck.
so
Now I
others
have the
also.
book. Now I
Yeah.
have the book, so it will be much easier. I cannot read on the laptop, and so
Mhm.
reading from the book, I will finish it fast now.
Kalpesh, are you trying to read the introduction if you get time?
Yes, yes.
Good, good. Abhijit, if you get time, you can read that as well. It's very
Yes,
interesting. It's very interesting.
I am, and I'm creating notes also. I'm writing out notes also of those.
Oh, very nice. That will be your personal nice
I wanted
understanding.
to I wanted to ask you one question
Yeah,
in one
yeah,
of the sentences.
yeah.
It says Lord is Kshetrajna.
Hmm.
I went through that and I wrote some notes. It's
Hmm.
like Lord is conscious about all the bodies and has knowledge of all the bodies, souls, physical matter.
Yes,
Where, whereas the jiva or living entities, they are having the knowledge of only their a particular body. Okay, that
yes,
is what it means. But
yes,
it is a particular body in the sense own body, right? I should say.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, for example, if you just take uh, the signs of digestion in our body,
Yes, sir.
how does the food gets digested? Goes through
Hmm.
the canal, goes into the certain
Hmm.
area, goes into the stomach, the
Hmm.
intestines, and this, that, all those things. If you can actually realize the whole thing, if you are you able to hear me?
Hmm. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So if you are able to realize that whole thing, that how is it happening, and understand the whole thing, what is happening inside,
Hmm.
you will know your body. But we don't even know what's happening. We only come to know about digestion when there is an indigestion.
Hmm.
Till the time, we don't even care.
Hmm. Yes.
So that is also a hypothetical statement that we know about our body. We don't.
Okay.
Basically, we don't. But why Krishna knows about this? Because he is situated in our heart.
Yes.
So because
Yeah.
he is there as,
It is mentioned.
yeah,
Since he is in our heart, he knows each and every person's thoughts as well as his deeds or whatever psychic movements the particular jiva is going to make.
correct. And to back that statement from Bhagavad Gita, it is in chapter 18. I'll, that how Lord is present in the heart. I'll just send that verse to you. 18.61. So if you go to Vedabase,
Yeah.
BG 18.61, I'll just share this with everyone. That how is the Lord situated in everyone's heart?
Hmm.
We'll elaborate that sometime later, but this is just to back up the statement. Um, oh, you know what? My daughter has taken away the phone, so I can't share this with you on the WhatsApp.
Do you use
So you
web
can see that.
WhatsApp?
But I can use this. I can use the chat here.
Yeah.
where I can copy and paste this. So you can click on that link, Vedabase 18.61. So I'll say that verse just for you. So that, yeah.
Ishvara
So
Sarvabhutanam.
it's Ishwar Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayen Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. Can anyone read the translation?
I can read.
Okay, go for it.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on on a machine made of material energy.
Is it clear?
ये इसका ना इंग्लिश भी संस्कृत जैसे बाउंस हो जाता है.
Did it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you, Prabhu, can you please elaborate on what that means?
Okay, what did you understand?
I only understood that that Lord is in everybody's heart, especially
Mhm.
the one, not everybody, in all living entities.
Yes, everyone. That is everyone. Yes.
But the living entity is not plants, right?
We'll come to that later. First, whatever is your understanding, you tell me.
And who are seated as on a machine. So basically, in this material world.
Your body is talking about.
Okay.
So the machine is being given to you.
Okay.
Yes,
So machine is a
Yes.
body. Is that what
that is
they mean?
correct. Yantra, yantra. That's how it is addressing the body as. Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. The yantra Rudhani means a yantra which is made up of Maya, which is made up of material nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you understand this briefly?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Good. So just to back Abhijit's statement, what he said that he's situated in any, that's how he knows all your activities. So don't
Yeah.
think you're alone.
Hmm.
Don't think that you close the room and do anything. Nobody's watching you. Don't think that. Don't think that. This point describes the karma also now. We'll touch that since it is connected to that. So I'll answer your question, Randhir, here. Okay, now let's see the definition of karma. Okay, very concise at the moment, but this will keep on getting advanced as we move in Bhagavad Gita. All the factors which we are learning now, we are understanding now, they'll go on expanding slowly, they'll go on expanding as we go in Bhagavad Gita. So the structure of Bhagavad Gita is amazing. So initially, there will be few things which Krishna will throw at you, like small concepts. And then he'll go on elaborating in every chapter.
Hmm.
Chapter 2 is known as the summarized Bhagavad Gita. When we reach there, you'll understand. It's like an index of all the concepts which are described in Bhagavad Gita.
Mhm.
And later on, he will elaborate on them. That's why even big scholars or philosophical scholars, they consider Bhagavad Gita as a very systematic way of writing a thesis. They refer to that in the way how they should present their thesis. So Bhagavad Gita is a very structured thesis. Okay, so we are touching on the concept of karma at the moment. So I'll just give you a very simple uh, understanding. So what is karma? Karma, when a living entity, remember, when we or a living entity acts under prakriti, that is nature, with some desires, under the influence of time, is called karma. Very technical definition. Yes,
Is
can
it
someone repeat it? You
is
may
it
have
is
to
it
write it
anywhere in
down.
the Bhagavad Gita as well? This
Sorry?
definition.
Sorry?
Is this definition in Bhagavad Gita in some text?
No, this is an analytical understanding of karma as per the Bhagavad Gita. We'll come to that later in chapter 3. But for your understanding now, if you want to write down the definition of karma, this is the most concise definition of karma I have found. I'll repeat it again for you. It is the when we act under Prakriti with some desires. Within the influence of time. That's called karma. Okay.
What does it mean by within the influence of time?
So we are under the influence of time. Yes?
Yes,
Are we? Are we not?
we are.
Okay. How do we say that we are in the influence of time?
Prabhuji, time is limited for everybody. So
Yes.
whatever decisions you take, those decisions will be influenced by what time. Like for example, if you want to build a dam, you can, and you'll think, oh, I can't build a dam because dam will take me 20 years. Do I have 20 years? I'm just giving a very like simple example, but your decisions will be influenced by the factor of time.
Okay.
That's my
So
understanding.
very good. Very good. So now you tell me, who are we?
We are a Jeev.
Yes. Okay. Who's Jiva? Is Jiva a soul or a body?
Soul.
It's a soul.
Is soul eternal or is it the influence of time?
Soul is
The
eternal.
soul is eternal.
So did I
Soul is
confuse you
eternal.
enough now?
Yes.
But right now we
Yeah.
are in a body, so we are under the influence of time.
Okay. So that is
The
why
body's in
I'll
right.
come back again onto karma. So read my definition again. When a living entity
living entity.
acts under Prakriti. So when we come to material nature, we work under that. Then we are within the influence of time.
Okay, okay, I get it. I get it.
Makes sense?
Yeah, I get it now. Or I try to get it.
With desire. So this body is the material nature. And body is not just the physical body. There are two types of bodies we carry. One is the physical body, and the second one is subtle body.
Subtle.
And they are under the influence of time. That's why the karma is associated only with physical and the subtle body. Let's go back to a diagram. Is it making sense? With me?
पूरा
Yes.
नहीं समझा मतलब if I have to rethink on it, then I don't think I'll be able to explain it back to anybody.
Okay, so analyze it now. Try to understand it. Karma or act, when we do, what is that? Is that act under the influence of Prakriti.
Prakriti means what? Nature.
Correct. Material nature.
Material nature. Okay.
Matter. When we use matter, yantra. What is the yantra?
Body.
Machine.
Now that can be mine or that can be somebody else's. When we're using the matter, yes, when the jiva under the influence of matter with some desires. Now desires to use that matter or to enjoy that matter. Correct?
Hmm.
or to abuse that matter. That is called karma.
Hmm.
Is it too technical? Yes.
टेक्निकल तो काफी है.
Abhijit, does it make sense?
Uh, yes.
Yes.
Can you give example?
Take any work which we do, the desire behind it. Say, for example, getting a job. So the desire behind getting a job is to earn money, and the desire behind earning money is to enjoy. Yes. What do we do with extra money? Money for jam. What do we eat jam, right? What is a jam? Fun, enjoyment. Correct? मजा. अरे, बोलो ना यार, सही बोल रहा हूँ गलत बोल रहा हूँ?
Hmm. Yes.
यस. काम तो कर लिया, मजा करना है ना. उसके लिए पैसा कमा रहे हो. किसके लिए पैसा कमा रहे हो?
Hmm.
पढ़ाई करने क्यों गए थे इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में या मेडिकल में? क्यों? ज्ञान प्राप्त करने गए थे कि पैसा कमाने? किसके लिए गए थे?
पैसा
कमाने के
कमाने
लिए.
के ताकि मजा आ सके.
अरे मैं आई डिड माई इंजीनियरिंग. हम लोग जब भी पूछ रहे थे हमसे व्हाट इज द रीजन, कोई बोलता है व्हाई डिड यू टेक, देयर वर 3 डिफरेंट स्ट्रीम्स व्हिच वी वेंट टू, एंड वन वाज इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन, electronics, telecommunication and computer technology. 3 streams all were set together. Why did you take this stream? Oh, because I have this, you know, need for, I love machines, that's the reason I am into this. Somebody says I love electronics. एक उधर लड़का था या 2 लड़के थे, सच्ची मेरे को पैसा कमाने का है इसीलिए मैं आया हूँ इंजीनियर बनने. आई वांट अ गुड जॉब सो आई कैन मेक मनी, सो आई कैन एंजॉय माय लाइफ. वेरी सिंपल. अगर कोई दूसरा कोई स्ट्रीम होगा मैं वो करूंगा where it gives me more money. Very simple. That is, come on यार, किसको ज्ञान प्राप्त करना है कॉलेज में जाके, या किसको सेवा करनी है जाके कॉर्पोरेट में? हाँ? क्या क्या कर रहा है
Correct.
या पैसा कमाना है ना, मजा करना है ना यार. सच्चाई है, थोड़ी कड़वी लगती है लेकिन है सच्चाई है ये. मजा ही करना है उस पैसे से हमको. आई जस्ट वांट टू हैव फन विद दैट मनी. आई वांट टू हैव big house so that I can have parties, I can have all sorts of everything what I wish to do. But yes, मजा
which
चाहिए.
I can put on Facebook.
That is another thing. That is another thing. Yeah. Okay, correct.
Randir was asking about the Facebook friends. So Randir, Facebook was not made eternally. It was
So-
made by Google.
Okay.
Google. Okay.
So,
So
I don't think they are good friends over there.
so why are we doing all this? This is karma. So we create karma because you want to enjoy. That is a desire. Kam. See, desire is kamana. And what is kam? What is kam?
Come,
Lust.
yes.
So kamana is desire, and kamana is made up of kam, which is lust. So everything in this material world is backed by lust. It has to be backed by lust. Otherwise it will be spiritual. लस्ट चाहिए पीछे. नाम चाहे जो भी दे दो, यू शुड बी पैशनेट अबाउट इट. और नाम चाहे जो भी दे दो उसको, तुम पीछे लस्ट ही है. You have to be greedy. You have to be this. This is all. I can do it. All those things, they come behind the basic generator of the aspect is lust. Okay, we'll come to that in chapter 2. Well, Krishna will explain this further. But understand karma. How's karma is generated? Did I give you ample examples, Aditi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
basically, anything we do is karma.
Everything is, that's how you generate karma. That's how the karma is generated.
Simple language में डालने का ना, when we act under प्रकृति with some desires within the influence of time is called karma.
Yeah, simple language समझ में नहीं आती है मेरे भाई. Because when I say we, you always relate to yourself as a body. लेकिन अगर मैं 1,00,000 बार भी बोलूं ना कि वी आर नॉट दिस बॉडी, वी आर दिस सोल, फिर भी 1,00,001 बार वो दिमाग में बॉडी ही रहेगा. That perception that we are this soul, it is not easy to digest. Yes, Ranveer.
So, sir, this is digressing, but when Chanakya said Sam Dam Dand Bhed, is he relating Sam to?
Artha Shastra.
Yeah. Is he relating?
Artha is not dharma, and bhakti is way above. So there is Artha
No,
Shastra.
I know that we're talking about
Yeah.
politics in this case, right?
Correct.
But when he's using that phrase, you know, which
Artha.
that
Artha
yes.
means fulus. अरे वापस माल चाहिए.
So the
Economics,
term
man.
that thing, the Sam, wouldn't that be tied to lust in this case? How do you
of
act?
course.
Okay,
Of course.
okay.
Of course. Anything Sam Dam Danda Bhed to do what? To gain power.
Okay.
Why are you doing all that? Sam Dam Danda Bhed to gain the control. Adhipatya. The idea of Chanakya Niti is about Arthashastra. It is not about gaining transcendental consciousness.
Yes. Okay.
Purely
So-
Artha. Purely Artha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we know whether Chanakya, what happened to Chanakya's soul?
Huh?
We don't know.
What
So why do you want to know about Chanakya? Soul?
Because he has been, one of the greatest personality in Indian history.
We have to, the whole idea of reading Bhagavad Gita is to know our soul first, and then know the super soul.
Yeah, nobody else's.
This is the idea of reading Bhagavad Gita. This is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So when you read the introduction, it will also tell you the purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita. So please continue reading introduction. Yeah, I was just giving you references from Bhagavad Gita so that you understand that what are these components, what are these aspects, and what are we going to touch in depth. Okay.
Prabhuji, Rishi
Yes.
here. Just one
Yes,
small
Rishi.
question.
Yeah.
So, in this definition of karma, when we say we act under Prakriti, so
Yes.
that already means that we are acting under the influence of time, doesn't it? I mean, why are we saying that specially again?
Okay. So when we are in the mode or the consciousness of devotional service or bhakti or yoga, I don't mean the exercises. Yoga, I mean the connection with the Lord. When we are trying to connect with the Supreme by devotional service. So we had done certain different types of devotional service. Does anyone remember? Last time we did a few types of devotional service. Can someone tell me?
I remember Bhakti Yoga.
Yes. But what were the different processes? Anyone remember? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam. Different types. That what do we do? Did we do that?
I don't think we covered. We said taking shelter in Krishna is the first
Okay.
step.
Yeah. So taking shelter of Krishna is not a karmic activity because it is not related to the body. It is related to your soul. So that karma or the activity becomes transcendental.
Okay.
So this is the second type of activity. One is transcendental and one is karmic, which has a reaction. So what is the difference between So there are two types of souls. What is the job of a soul? According to circles?
To get moksha.
No, no, no. Those three circles. What does a
Physical
soul do?
body, subtle body, and inside is the soul.
Yeah, what does soul do? What is the job of a soul? Anyone?
Job of a soul.
Yeah, just open that picture. You will know what does a soul do. Yes, Rishi, do you want to comment? Do you have that picture with you?
Yeah, I'm opening.
Yes.
Karma.
No.
Desire.
Job
Yes. What does a soul do?
Okay, desire. Right.
To
Desire.
desire.
Karma according
The soul desires. The
to.
desire to either enjoy this body or the desire to do transcendental activity or take shelter of Krishna. This is the two desire a soul can do. These are the two desires, two choices soul has. And the soul which desires to take the shelter of Krishna is called the liberated soul. And the soul which tries to enjoy this body is called the conditioned soul. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Yes. Recollection.
Rishi, am I reaching to your answer to the question?
Yes. Yes.
And what is the difference between the soul which is desiring to be in the shelter of Krishna and the soul which is trying to enjoy this body? What is that one word difference between these two?
Motivation.
No, it is the consciousness.
Consciousness.
Sorry, sir. Can you?
Yeah. So now do you have a pen and paper? Trust me, man. This way, this, if you don't write, you're going to, trust me. Next week, I'm going to ask you this. You'll say, don't know what it is. We've gone far ahead on everything. Definitions. These are all interlinked, these things. They're connected. These components are very important. If you don't have the clarity on those components, further chapters will be very difficult for you. Okay. So, what is the difference between a conditioned and a liberated soul?
So a conditioned soul wants to enjoy material needs,
Yes.
and a liberated soul is in bhakti yoga.
Is desiring to take the shelter of Krishna.
Yeah, a
So the
desiring to, yeah.
difference is the two different desires.
Um,
And what is the meaning of liberation in Sanskrit? How do you say liberation in Sanskrit? You keep
Moksha.
repeating the yes. And how a soul can be liberated?
by having a ledger zero.
Desiring to take the shelter of Krishna instead of desiring to enjoy this body.
Okay.
So what is that which changes the consciousness is the desire. And what changes the desire is the consciousness. They are interrelated. Does it make
It's a
sense?
self-serving. Like it's a.
These both are interrelated, desire and the consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this brings another concept of what is consciousness. Consciousness is the chetana in Sanskrit. Chetana or the consciousness. So soul is the root of this consciousness, and mind is the root of this consciousness. First one was ROOT, second one was ROUTE. Am I going too fast for you to write down?
Yes, actually, I just started writing
Okay, good.
there are two
Okay.
different
So
types of.
so so you have to listen carefully and write down. Okay. All right. So now that's why. So it's very hard to be Chataka, but at least we should try to be parrot. You know,
Hmm.
very careful listeners. Okay. So consciousness is what defines or differentiates a liberated soul and the conditioned soul.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyone can tell me what is consciousness? Aditi? No philosophical, no technical understanding. We'll come to technical later. But just in basic terms, if you understand what is consciousness,
Being aware, being able
that is
to,
awareness.
okay,
What is consciousness?
to be able to, no. To be able to notice, to be aware, no.
Okay.
Between the right and wrong, to make a decision between right and wrong,
But there are
that
people
is,
around you. Okay. There are many people around you. You're aware they are there.
uh-huh.
Is that consciousness? Okay, Randir, what do you think?
Sir, on the basis of your definition, where consciousness is at least if you're able to make a decision which is moving towards moksha, I think that makes you conscious.
Okay, that is a philosophical understanding where you're getting very simple understanding of consciousness. Very basic, very simple.
I think, as Aditi said, is if you're aware of
Aware.
your
Okay.
surroundings.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think it's awareness as well. Okay, Abhijit, what do you think? What is consciousness? Is it different from awareness?
Yeah. No, I also agree. It is a kind of awareness about your inner spirit.
Awareness.
No.
Okay. Kalpesh, what do you think? What is consciousness?
Consciousness is intelligence that
Intelligence.
that
It is
you know what to do when you don't know what to do.
No. That is different. Intelligence is intelligence is different. No.
मैंने जल्दी से गूगल किया था यहाँ पे
No.
sir,
and the other word for
No,
consciousness is
very
also.
simple understanding in practical way.
sir,
Try to
sir,
understand conscious. Yes.
can I say it is more like being awake, being alert,
Okay. All right.
and
Let
being
me
aware.
let me give you an example. Okay. So there are 100 people in front of you.
Hmm.
Okay. And you want to tell the truth about your character. Everything. Everything true. सब कुछ सच बताने का. Okay. Okay. All right. You have to.
I wouldn't recommend that in a court
Okay.
of law.
Okay. So 100 people are sitting. You're aware the people are there. Now, will you be conscious about speaking about your character?
Yes. Yes.
You know what is
Yes.
consciousness now?
Alert.
Being thoughtful,
No.
Carefulness.
aware,
No, no, no,
careful.
no. It is very difficult to define that. Okay, just think about it. It is more to be realized than to be defined. Don't worry about definition. Try to
So,
understand the analogy. Okay. Yes, Randir.
so the fact that there is an external observer, would that
Now you are coming closer to that. Okay. So for example, okay, you're talking to a friend. Okay, very simple. You and your friend are drinking together. Okay, बातें हो रही है.
Hmm.
After a few drinks, you start talking more deep. ठीक है? अभी डेप्थ वाली बातें हो रही है. Okay. Suddenly you not in front but side में से ना तुम दोनों की बीवियां गुजर रही हैं,
Oh my God.
हाँ, wives are passing by. You tell me what will be your statement और योर जो घुस गए हो जिस टॉपिक में, वो कंटिन्यू होंगी या रुक जाओगे, पॉज होगा या चेंज होगा, व्हाट विल हैपन?
We'll start talking about Modi.
You'll man, this is called consciousness. The
Right.
external, when we are conscious about things,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
this is called consciousness. It's third party. वो थर्ड पार्टी है, आमने सामने नहीं होता, वो अवेयर नहीं होता, वो इट इज नॉट अवेयरनेस. कॉन्शियसनेस इनबिल्ट होता है, दिखता भी नहीं कभी कभी तो, कभी कभी तो तीसरा आदमी दिखता भी नहीं है, फिर भी उसके लिए कॉन्शियस होते हैं हम लोग. अरे यार इसको ये बोल दूं, उसको पता चल जाएगा तो क्या हो जाएगा. यू नो व्हाट आई मीन?
Yeah.
It is being, it is an inbuilt thing. It is like that gut feeling. It is that consciousness. Something at the back of your mind. पीछे चलता है वो. Try
So
to
how do you
understand it.
define?
Try to understand the component rather than putting a definition to prove someone. Don't worry about that. Trust me.
Hmm.
Bhagavad Gita is not about that. Spiritual life is not about that.
So
Spiritual
you
life
mean
is about understanding the component and feeling it. Realize
so
करना होता.
using your sixth sense.
Yeah, sixth sense. You can say sixth sense. Sixth sense is also called a mind also. But this is behind it. ये active नहीं होता ज़्यादा. ये एकदम हमेशा active नहीं होता.
लगता है उसके बेटी ने ना ब्लूटूथ ऑन किया है
Hmm.
and his headset got connected to
Sorry, I was getting conscious about the phone. I suddenly started ringing. My phone was taken by my daughter, and the headset is on my head. I was trying to find where it is ringing from. Okay, so is it making sense? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It runs at the background. That consciousness run in the background. So, for example, you see, someone tries to hit you. Yes. Yeah. Someone tries to attack you. Automatically, your hands come in force. They you try to protect yourself. How does the hand know to come in the front?
That's your reflex,
That's
immediate
the
reflex.
consciousness at the background
Yes.
running. The consciousness in the blood also.
Hmm.
The reaction, the reflexes which you see, a ball coming at you and suddenly you're catching it. These reflexes, this is consciousness. It runs. See these components when you realize, when you try to see them in your body, very amazing. तो मजा आता है. You see? So to be Krishna consciousness, to be in that consciousness of the Lord,
Hmm.
that is what we're talking about.
Hmm.
Is it making sense?
Yes.
But what is at the back behind में, मेरे को क्या मिलेगा इसमें से, मजा कैसे मिलेगा मेरे को इसमें? This is what is going on background में. Any work that we do, we want to see what is the fruit. उसका रस क्या है यार, उसमें मजा आएगा कि नहीं मेरे को करने में. You understand? पैसा
Yeah.
मिलेगा कि नहीं उसमें से मेरे को, what will I get, what is मेरे लिए क्या है, what is in me. That is consciousness, that is material consciousness. Yes, Randhir.
So sorry for asking so many questions, sir. But
Yeah.
if every soul is trying to achieve moksha, then doesn't that actually bring in desire too? I mean, then how is it getting free?
Okay.
Because if the
Okay. So I see what you're trying to ask is that whether desiring for moksha is also a desire.
right,
Yes, it is. So now that comes with what is moksha for you.
okay,
Then the path starts on which path I should be taking. what is the real moksha? What is the real liberation? And that is explained.
Okay.
Muktir hitavanyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitah. So in the Shastra, it is explained about mukti. Muktir hitavanyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitah. That once you understand your swarupa, vyavasthita means in an organized way, if you understand your swarupa, then you are liberated.
So when you understood your
Swarupa,
Swarup.
Swarup means
self-realization, your actual rupa.
And how does Siddhi Sarup come into this? Swarup Siddhi, sorry.
Swarup Siddhi is to receive the swarupa by the process of devotional service.
Okay. Not a way. Not
Does it make sense?
no.
No? Okay.
The first one did. Okay.
Okay.
We'll
Swarupa
get to it.
means, okay, I'll give you Swarupa very simple way. Everyone has a relationship with the Lord,
Right.
which is called as Swarupa.
Right.
Your self-realization. When you realize what is my relationship, who am I and what is my relationship, that is Swarupa.
Right.
Swarupa Siddhi is to receive the Swarupa,
Uh-huh.
to receive that Swarupa, to receive that self-realization by the process of devotional service. So that
Okay.
Siddhi,
Uh-huh.
Siddhi, Swarupa Siddhi is the, when you understand and you get it, when you get the Swarupa by the process of, that is Siddhi, achievement.
Mm.
And the relation with the Lord is those 5 relations, right?
No, relationship with the
Oh,
Lord is called yoga.
okay. Okay. Notes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
notes.
Notes.
Absolutely
Notes.
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 Yes. Write down. Please write down. Please write down. Trust me. You will not regret. You will not regret. Okay. Now quickly, 11 to 14. Chapter 1, verse 11. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Om
Namo
Bhagavate
Namo
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
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 Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
So I'll read the verses and the translation. Please repeat after me the Sanskrit verses. Chapter 1,
Actually,
verse 11.
there is some song going on in background.
Can't hear
Can we
that.
all?
I can hear something going on in the background.
Yeah.
Some kind of tick tock, and some sound. Some somebody humming. No, some flute.
Okay.
I'll just mute everyone. Okay. Except.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But then,
Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay, cool. Chapter 1, verse 11. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu. Sorry, I can't hear you. Yatha bhagama vyavasthitaha. Bhishmameva bhirakshantu. Bhavantah sarva eva hi. Now, Duryodhan, after saying it to Bhishma Pitamaha that his efficiency is immeasurable, he continues being a politician and telling everyone that they are equally important. Just listen to this. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. So, because Bhishma is insufficient, you have to give him a lot of support. So, he is making them important as well, apart from Bhishma. Verse 12. Tasya sanjanya harsham kuru vruddha pitamaha singhanadam vina dhyosche shankhadadvo pratapavan.
Can we repeat
Then,
with you actually?
yeah, but I can't hear unless you all start. And then,
Okay, yeah, we'll start. It's okay.
okay,
Whoever wants to speak, please unmute, but just make sure there is no background noise.
okay. So, verse 12. Please repeat after me. Tasya sanjayanayana harsham
Tasya
Tatsa
Sanjaya Hare
Sanjayana
Rasam
Harsham
Yanarakshan
कुरु वृद्धः पितामह
Kuru
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 Vruddha
Vruddha
Vriddha
Pitamaha
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 सिंहनादं विनद विनद्योच्छै
Singanadam
Singhanadam Vinadyoche
Vinadduche
शङ्खदद्मो प्रतापवान्.
Shankadam
Sankhadadmo
No
Pratapavan.
Pratapavan.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhan joy. Next verse, verse 13. तत्तः शङ्खाश्च भैर्याश्च
Tatcha
Tatta
Tatya
Shankha
Sankhasha
Sankhascha Bhairyascha
Bhairascha
पणवानकगोमुखा
Panavanaka
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 Gomukha
Gomukha
सहस्रैवाभ्यहन्त्यन्तम्.
Sahasreva
Sahasrevadyavantam
Hantim Tam
Tam
Sorry, I'll say that again.
Tas
सहस्रैवाभ्यहन्यन्त
Sahasraivabhya
Sahisevya
Hanyanta
Sasevabhyayantya
Hanyanta
सशब्दतुमलोऽभवत्.
Sashabda
Sashabda
Sashabdatu
Tu
Malobhavat
Malabhava
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Verse 14. तत्तः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
Tatta
Tatya
Shvete
Shvete
Tattashate
Hare Te
Harayukte
Haryukte
महत् महती स्यन्दने स्थितौ
Mahati
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 Sandane
Sandhane
Sito
Sthito
माधव
Sanjay
पाण्डवश्चैव
Madhava
Madhava
Pandavascha
Pandavaschaiva
दिव्यो शङ्खो
Divyo
प्रदध्मतुः.
Divyo
Divyo
Shankho
Shankho
Shankha
Pradam Dudu.
Pradatmato
Pradhyatu
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjun, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. So these four verses are describing the sound which is vibrating from the conch shells of all the warriors. So that means the war is about to start now. So we'll read from the verse 15 next week.
Okay.
This is the entry of Arjun and Krishna into the field, into Bhagavad Gita. So the chariot has four horses. It's a beautiful chariot. And we will discuss about who has given this chariot. We'll discuss a little about Bhishma. And we'll discuss about what are the names of the conch shells of different warriors from verse 15.
Hmm.
Okay? So we'll
Okay.
end our session here. Any questions or comments? Please ask. No? All good?
No.
Yeah, all good.
Cool. So we'll end our session here. See you next Sunday.
Okay.
Please